Geometry using trigonometry is very often used in building construction when we need to determine the length of a roofing beam. And specifically, we're going to look at traditional king post roof truss. The beam is going to be represented here as a horizontal line. The sketch on the left-hand side is just a simple representation so that we're not bothered with all the other rafters and purlins and ridge boards. So this is going to be the beam that we're wanting to find the size of. This kind of a rafter has a king post right in the middle, which is at 90 degrees to the beam. The length of the rafter is 9.6 meters. We do not know the length of the post, but we do know that the rafter and the beam have an angle of about 16 degrees, and we need to find the length of the beam. And you'll notice that this triangle is actually 90-degree triangle. So we'll be able to use some trigonometry, sine, tan, or cos. First of all, we need to find out what exactly we have. We have a 16-degree angle. We have a 9.6 rafter. We've got X meters of the beam, and we do not have anything for the post. We'll call the post H. Having a right angle triangle, we can identify all the sides. The side opposite to the angle will be called opposite. The longest side will be called hypotenuse. And the last side is just an adjacent side to the angle. So it's ADJ. The trigonometric rule that we're going to use will depend on what it is that we really want to find. We need to find the value of x. This means that we need the adjacent side in our formula. The trigonometric ratios that you can use are the sine ratio, which is opposite over hypotenuse, the cos ratio, adjacent over hypotenuse, and the tan ratio, which is opposite over adjacent. We do not have any information about the opposite post, so neither is sine and neither is tan useful to us. We can use adjacent and hypotenuse because we want to find x being the adjacent, and we know what hypotenuse is 9.6. So we will use cos ratio. Using the cos ratio, we can write that cos 16 is equal to the adjacent side, which we'll call x, over hypotenuse 9.6. Since we want x, if we multiply this side by 9.6, and if we multiply this side also by 9.6, then we can cross out the 9.6 here and the 9.6, and now we have 9.6 cos 16 is equal to x. We use the calculator, remembering that we need to use degrees. On the calculator, we hit 9.6, then we press multiplication sign. After that, we press the cos sign. Once we press cos, we need to press the angle 16. Finally, you need to press the enter sign. When you enter this, you'll get that x is equal to 9.228. You'll notice that if you've got rads in and instead of degrees, your value of x will be negative, which is wrong. So do change that into degrees. So the value of x is 9.228 meters. That only gives us half of the beam. We need to find the length of the beam, which means that we need to multiply it by 2, and this will give us a value of 18.456 meters. Therefore, this horizontal beam is 18 0.456 meters. Using trigonometric ratios is very important in the building industry. This is a Year 10 maths work. I hope you found it useful.